Okay, great. And if you could fold your blanket into a square or a rectangle and then just roll it along the sides so you create a mini style bolster for yourself. What we're going to do is lie down but have the blanket bolster that we've made underneath our upper chest, so underneath the back of your heart, your upper rib cage, just where I have it in front of my body now. If you place the blanket behind you as you lie down, it will just help lift your chest, drop your shoulders back and lengthen through your spine before we start. Let's start lying down. So as you come to the ground, allowing yourself to let go for a few moments before we start to move, allowing your hands to be wide from the sides of your body, your palms turned up and your feet flopped out to the sides, both legs spaced equally and balanced. And as it's a time of spring equinox, equal day, equal night, the energy is all about balance as the re-emergence of life, of all the plants and baby animals are born. We give thanks to this life and think about what we would like to encourage, invite to blossom, to re-emerge in our life. So as you lie with the blanket to the back of your heart, maybe you can just lift your heart a little bit, softening your shoulders back and down and feeling into your breath with big, deep, long, generous breaths, lifting your heart as you inhale, filling up the front and the back body. As you exhale, softening down, drawing lower belly in, and feeling your pelvis, the ground. Keeping that going and noticing the wave of your breath, the pathway, the journey, as it deepens you and your connection, and this balance of your breath, the balance renewing in you, recharging, revitalizing. And I read a few suggestions for earth meditations for yourself to connect to the earth at this time of spring, of awakening. Make a commitment at least once a week to find some way to connect deeply to the earth. Take a walk, go out to the woods or a sacred site, climb a hill, sit with a tree, work in your garden, gather and sow seeds. And also do this in a meditative way. Find a place to sit with a tree or a group of trees, a place where you will feel comfortable and welcomed. Breathing deeply and rhythmically, gently place every thought to one side as it comes into your mind until you feel your connection to the land and the trees. Practice sitting as still as possible and observe the sounds, smells and colours and the comings and goings of wildlife. Each day, take a moment to feel yourself rooted to the earth. This brings stability and stillness. It can be as simple as imagining your roots going down to the earth, feeling your out-breath extending down to the earth. Feel your in-breath drawing up her vitality and goodness. This can be done anytime, anywhere, noticing your breath and your connection to the earth. And as you do this with your breath, feeling the earth's energy rising as you inhale and exhale, releasing, grounding, rooting to the earth. Feeling your breath, each turn of your breath, centering and balancing through you. Let's take 2 more breaths in stillness before we move, please. Maybe sigh out, relaxing your jaw. Let's move our head from side to side as you stay lying down. Just ease your chin to one shoulder and then the other. And feeling this movement with your breath, possibly inhaling to one side, exhaling to the other side. Or inhaling to center and exhaling across to one shoulder. And then going to the other side. Easing as you invite your body to move, to awaken, to re-emerge. Bring your head back to center, please. Let's lift our hands over our head with an inhale. Reach the hands up and stretch to your fingertips. As you exhale, lowering the hands back down to the sides of your body. Keeping that going. Inhale, reaching the hands up and over to the floor, to the back of your head, if you like. Exhale, lowering them all the way down. Sweeping like branches, and the branches from your heart as you keep moving your arms, easing your shoulders, breathing wide to your ribcage, and combining a balance of your breath with equal inhale and exhale, with equal effort and ease. So we're noticing our efforts, but also feeling into softness, ease. One more time as you sweep your hands up and over. Let's pause with the hands overhead now and hold on to our left wrist, both hands over to the right and both feet over to the right, stretching out through the body. Feel your breath through the side bodies, taking 3 big breaths, maybe sighing out, feeling all of the back of the body, releasing. And then on your next inhale, lifting your hands up straight again above your head. Exhale, take the other wrist and hands over to the left. Feeling into the breath again through this side as you breathe into your lungs, expanding. Feeling your rib cage, your shoulders easing to the ground. And the length of your breath with your body. Inhale, let's reach the hands up again, and exhale, hands down to the sides. Keeping the blanket underneath your heart, let's now just move our knees as we bring our feet in a little bit and press the soles of the feet to the ground. Bend your knees and sway them from side to side. Feel into the front of the body and the sides, the front of the hips, and around the sides of the hips to the back of the sacrum. And into this stretch across your heart. One more sway from side to side. And then let's bring our knees out to the sides, the soles of the feet together in Reclined Vadakanasana. As you take your hands to the sides of your head and your elbows bent at shoulder height, feel the blanket directly underneath your heart now, and widen across the blanket a bit more. Widen to your elbows, to your knees. Feel into the width of your breath and the circumference of your breath swirling round. Let's take a few more breaths here, easing your inner thighs across your pelvis, letting it drop to the ground. Feel into softness in the inner thighs, softness with your breath, softness sweeping through. Great, let's now combine this with movement, taking both elbows to one side. So one elbow moves across the body and the knees come together as well to that side. And then come back to center, opening the knees and the elbows and go to the other side. So keep that going with your breath, and you can do this really slowly or in a nice rhythm, whatever feels the best for you. Feel into the blanket underneath your rib cage and your heart again, massaging your shoulders a little bit, and feel the rolling action, the rolling easing and letting go of tension through the back of your shoulders as you move from side to side. Notice both sides and the elbows and knees stacking and trying to balance with your breath, with your movement, with your awareness as much as possible. Let's end on the opposite side that we started with, and then we'll just pause there. Take both arms straight now out to that side and one hand on top of the other. And then we'll move the top arm over to the opposite side, lowering it to the ground. Look to that side of the arm reaching out away from you in your spinal twist. Let's stay here for 3 breaths, feeling the breath easing down through the sides of the body, around the hips, the back of the sacrum, up through the spine. One more breath. Now let's combine this with movement again. Exhale, take the hand back over to the other hand to meet. Inhale, open it out to the side again, the same arm. Keep that going. Exhale to close your lower belly in. Inhale to open and turn and twist. 3 more breaths, breathing deep, feeling into the breath, guiding you with the movement, noticing, clearing, rebalancing energy. Just like daffodils swaying in the breeze, crocuses opening, feeling this opening, this swaying, beauty within you. Great, after your 5, let's come back to a center point and hug your knees into your body now. Just have a roll, and if it's comfy, keeping the blanket there just for a moment. Noticing the back of your ribs, easing to the ground again with the blanket. And then we'll take the knees wide and the arms wide once more, elbows bent, and then moving to the other side. So moving the knees to stack together and the elbows to stack together as you roll onto your side in a fetal position again. Let's straighten out the arms once more and then reach the top arm over to the opposite side away from you for your spinal twist. Staying here, breathing deep for 3 big breaths, feeling into easing all the tension again, dropping through your body. And imagining the sun outside shining on you, warming through you, your inner sun inside, sparkling through the energy of your cells, your organs. Let's combine it with our movement now. As you exhale, take the hands to meet, one hand stacking over the other, and as you inhale, open it out to the side again, turning your head and your gaze. Keeping that going, breathing deep for 5 big breaths, drawing lower belly in as the hands meet. Inhale to open and expand into the twist. Breathing deep, feeling into the movement, feeling through your body, feeling the whole of your body, feeling all the way down to your toes as well as your fingers, all the way up to the crown of your head as you roll your head. One more big breath, or completing your 5 when you're ready. And then slowly rolling onto your back and drawing your knees in again. Just have a little rock from side to side. Let's circle the knees one way and circle the knees the other way. Great, rolling onto your side to press up to seated. You can take the blanket away now, and you may like the blanket for your knees, so you could put that in the middle of the mat and move it so that it's into a flat rectangular space. So maybe you use the blanket for your knees today. So you come onto your hands and knees, spreading all of the fingers, the thumbs, pressing the pads of the hands down. Feel your feet grounded to the tops of the feet and all the toes pressing down as well. Feel the toes and your hands even more, grounding, rooting to the earth. Inhale, let's lift our chest, lift tailbone into cow. Exhale, rounding, draw lower belly in, arch the back of the cat. Keep that going, just easing through your pelvis, your sacrum, your spine, your shoulders, the neck. Feeling into the breath, waving through you. Like the breeze over the flowers, over the grasses, through the trees. One more big breath. And as you exhale, rounding, let's just pause here for an extra breath. Tuck your chin into your chest. Try to hollow the front of your body and arch the back as much as you can, pressing to the ground. And then coming back to a flat back, please. Let's tuck our toes under and lift up for downward facing dog. Have a little pedal out of your legs if you like that, or sway your hips from side to side. And as we always come to down dog, as you know, we're lifting through our shoulder girdle away from our ears, but trying to encourage that lift softly and relaxed, as well as lengthening through the back, the spine to the hips, keeping a tiny slight bend in your knees to tilt the pelvis back, feeling your inner thighs lifted up to the sky as you tilt the pelvis. Feel your inner arches as well and the connection of your core from your inner arches up to your inner thighs. And the connection of your hands and the core from your palms to your shoulders. Let's move into a plank form, checking our length. Wriggle your feet back if you need to. And then exhale, bend your knees back to down dog. Twice more. Inhale to plank. Looking forward, lengthen through, lift your hips and core. Exhale, bend the knees, press the hips back. One more time, inhale forwards. And exhale back. Let's take our knees down to the ground. Step your right foot behind your left now for half side plank. Reach your right hand up to the sky, please. Let's circle this right arm round in a big circle, backwards at first, opening through the shoulder and circling about 3 times. Moving into the circle of the sun and the moon, the seasons, spring, daffodils. Great. If you would like, you can keep the hand lifted above the shoulder and lift your right foot off the ground, parallel to the ground for mini half moon. Flex the toes, pressing them forwards if it's lifted. If the foot's down on the ground, you can press the foot a bit more to the earth. One more breath here. Great, let's turn to our front again, hands and knees down. We'll go to the other side, stepping the left foot behind, right, pressing that left foot to the ground, lifting left hand up. Let's circle the arm round, big sweeping, opening the shoulder, the rib cage, the sides of the body, lifting your heart, your gaze. As you root down, rising up. And then keeping the hand lifted above your shoulder. Again, if you did so on the other side, lifting the left foot off the ground. Feeling into the toes flexed. Breathing through, drawing through your core and this long line from the heel to your head. One more breath. Lovely, everyone. Exhale, take the hands and knees back to the ground. Let's now tuck our toes under, lift the hips back to downward facing dog. And then in down dog, let's step the feet together at the back of the mat, please. Big toes touching. For some hip circles, we'll now lift right foot up, bend the right knee. Look into right upper arm for scorpion dog. Feel the front of the hip, the psoas muscle stretching from your thigh to your lower rib cage. And then in your own way, you can keep your left knee lifted or take your left knee down, circling the right knee around. Trying it for 3 to 5 times, and maybe you stay in down dog or that left knee eases down to relax you a bit more. 3 or 5 times as you circle. One more breath. And then straightening the leg up to the sky in 3-legged down dog. As you exhale, draw the knee into your chest. Twice more. Inhale, lift it up to the sky. Exhale, drawing it in. One more breath, feeling into your strength and softness, easing through, not fighting. And then let's step the right foot to the top of the mat, moving the left knee to the ground. Keep your hands to the mat or on blocks if you like blocks. And then let's circle the right hip around again. Stirring through the leg, noticing the knee, the ankle, and the stirring spiral of creation all the way through. Breathing as well, easing out your shoulders, your neck. Stirring around the other way, circling all the way around the other way, please. Great, coming to a still point. Let's take our left hand to the ground or a block and reach your right hand up to the sky. Feel the stretch, the outer right hip. Notice your heart lifted, your gaze lifted. You can circle this arm round again, 3 big circles, easing through the shoulder and looking to the back space as the hand lowers if possible. Just stretch through your neck a little bit. Notice the points on the ground as you root down and rise. Great, let's take the right hand down and then lift the left hand up to the side. We'll do the same on this side. 3 big circles sweeping round. Feel into the outer left hip and the psoas muscle again from the top of your thigh to your lower rib cage. Well done. As you come back to center, flexing the toes and finding your half splits, half Hanumanasana. Maybe wiggle the heel a little bit further forward and feel into the whole back line of the leg, the back of the calf, the knee, the thigh. And let's just stay here for 2 more breaths. Maybe you take a bowing action with an inhale, rising slightly as you exhale, bowing down. 1 more breath. Inhale to rise and exhale to bow down. Great, let's take the right foot to the ground, tuck your left toes under, ground your hands and step back to down dog. You can rest if you need to in child's pose at any time, like usual. Have a pedal out in down dog, stretching through, in from the hands all the way through to the feet again. Great, let's step the feet together, back of the mat, big toes touching. With an inhale, lifting left foot up to the sky, bend the left knee, scorpion dog, look under the left upper arm. Tilt the pelvis and lift the knee a little bit. Feel through the stretch, through the front of the hip, the psoas muscle again. And as we let go of tension here, we get into the flow of life, easing with this flow all the way through. Let's circle the knee round again, 3 or 5 times. And again, you stay higher in down dog or the right knee comes down to make it a little bit easier as you circle round. Bring it into your breath with the action. 1 more circle. And then straightening the leg up to the sky. Press through. As you exhale, draw the knee into your chest, into a high plank. Inhale, lengthen and lift it up again behind you. Exhale, draw it in. Feel your shoulders strong. Inhale to lengthen, feel softness as well. Exhale to draw it into your chest. Now stepping the left foot forward to the top of the mat. Grounding right knee down for your low lunge again. Let's circle this left hip and stir the leg to the knee, the ankle, softening your shoulders, your jaw, your face. In a circle, the spiral, easing everything out. And then stirring the opposite way again. Noticing this side. Often with our left side, we can feel a bit more sensitivity, but it depends on your body and what's happening. You'll feel it when it's tight. Coming back to a center point, let's keep the right hand down to the mat or the block and lift the left hand. Turning for your revolve lunge, lifting up through your heart, pressing to the ground, and then circling this arm round 3 times, easing through the shoulder, looking back as the hand moves to the back space, softening your jaw, your face. One more big breath. Great, bringing that left hand down just inside the left foot or outside if you had it last time, and we'll circle the right hand round, turning to this side, feeling into the outer right hip, and as you lift, feel the heart, softening your shoulders, looking around if possible. Great, everyone. Let's come back to a center point and then flexing your toes up to the sky. Find your half splits out of Hanumanasana again, maybe wriggling that left heel forward. Lengthen and level your hips. Feel from the back foot to the front. Taking 2 more breaths, maybe with your bowing action with an inhale to lengthen, and exhale to bow in. Inhale to rise, flexing the toes, and exhale to bow in. Inhale to look forward. Let's flatten the left foot, and this time step forward, please, to the top of the mat. With an inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, folding in, and let's stay folded for 3 more breaths. Maybe you have your hands just dangling or holding on to opposite elbows. Maybe you stay in stillness or you're swaying. Notice both feet balance, pressing the toes down softly, rising up through the inner thighs to the inner pelvis. Feel the pelvis tilted backwards and the length to your lower back. Lengthen through your spine as you soften down and drop all the weight to the ground. Lift your shoulders away from your ears softly and maybe shrug your shoulders a few times around. And then let's look forward. Move the feet, heel toe them out to the sides of the mat. Turn the toes out for squat Malasana, sinking hips down, rooting the tailbone towards the ground, and hands to your heart if possible, or hands to the ground if you prefer to keep them down. Stay here for 1 more breath, please. Feel the back of the body. I'm trying to lean back a tiny bit to lengthen through, creating that long, tall spine from your tailbone to the top of your neck and the crown of your head. Great, let's take our hands down and now move your hands just to the sides of you if that's possible. We're going to try to move one knee into the center. It can be quite an intense stretch, but try to soften as much as you can, and then the other knee. Keep that going a few times and find a place where it's really comfy for your arms so you're not fighting the holding of the stretch for your body. 1 more each side. Well done. I know it can be really hard if you don't do this much. Great, everyone. Let's come back to center. Coming back to a forward fold. Heel toe the feet in and just settle as you hang and dangle for a moment. And then let's rise up through the body all the way up to standing Once we get up, reach your hands out to the sides and a big sun ray up to the sky. As you exhale, hands to your heart. Great, let's just stand for a moment, feel into your balance. We'll do some sweeping breath exercises. Practice with half sun salutations to begin with. So let's do 3. Inhale, reach the hands up, looking up. Exhale, press the palms together and bow down, bending your knees as you lower. Inhale, look forward to lengthen, lift up halfway, lift lower belly. Exhale, forward fold again, letting the hands drop to the earth. Inhale, reach the arms wide and a big circle up to the sun and the sky again. Exhale, press the palms together, bend the knees and lower down, all the way to the earth with your prayer. Inhale, reach your heart into your half lift, draw up through lower belly. Exhale, forward fold, lowering down again as you bow and soften. Inhale, rise up with the arms like the sunrise to the sky. Press the palms together one more time. Exhale, bowing down with your prayer and this balance through you. Inhale, lifting up halfway, trace the hands up to the knees, drop through lower belly. Exhale, forward fold again, softening. Inhale, reach the arms wide as you rise with the sun inside of you. Press the palms together and exhale, hands to your heart. Just holding for a breath as you ground and center again, softening your face, your shoulders, closing your eyes and scanning through to the soles of your feet. Let's step our feet wide now, turn the toes out, and if your blanket's in the way, you can move it, of course. And we'll do some arm sweeps. Maybe one foot is slightly turned out a bit more, straight to the top of the mat, and then bending the knee, sweeping the arm around, just going with the motion 5 times on this side, stretching through the sides of the body. And this will set us up for our warrior 2 and triangle pose, which we'll do after this. One more big breath on this side. Great, let's go to the other side now. Turn those toes out to face the top of the mat and circling round. Easing through your shoulder, bending your knee. Lean into the sweep. Great, everyone, lovely. Softening your jaw. Great, coming back to a center point. Turn the feet in so that they're parallel now. Big toes maybe turning in a little bit more as that moves the top of the femur bone into the pelvis a bit more efficiently. Inhale, reach the heart up to the sky as you hold on to your hips. Exhale, bend the knees and let's forward fold. Lengthening through as you drop down. Draw it up through your lower belly and your shoulders. Hands can be further forward and you can look forward, or hands in between your feet, shoulder width apart, looking behind. Lift up through your hips and your sit bones. Feel the inner thighs tilting backwards and lifting upwards as well. And move the weight of your body to the front of your feet. So you're really extending through the back of the legs, the back of the body, drawing up through your core and your shoulders, softening as well. One more breath. Taking your gaze forward and lifting up slightly. Move both hands over to one leg. Let's do 3 bowing motions over this leg. With an inhale, lifting. As you exhale, forward fold in. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold in. One more time. Inhale to rise. And exhale to fold in. Keeping the opposite hand of that foot to the ground or block. Let's reach the other arm up to the sky. Turning and twisting through your ribcage, lifting your heart. One more breath. Great, let's take hands down, walk the hands over to the other side. 3 breaths as we lift with an inhale over this leg and exhale to fold in again. Keep that going, tilting the weight slightly forward, extending through the back of your body, feeling into your breath and softening through as much as you can as well. Your next inhale, looking forward slightly, opposite hand stays down. We reach the other arm up as we turn to this side, lifting heart, bending through your ribcage, easing your shoulder. Taking a big breath here, please. Rising up to the top fingers. Now exhale, take that hand down to the sides. Let's heel toe the feet in a tiny bit. Turn the toes out. Bend the knees for a wide-legged squat and reach your hands up, rising all the way up to the top. 3 times as we take the hands down the center line, bending down to the ground. Inhale, arms in a big circling motion, straightening the legs up to the top. Keep that going, twice more as you exhale, lowering, offering and balancing. Inhale to rise back up. Once more, exhale to drop down and ground like a seed, rooting and planting to the earth. And inhale to rise back up. Hands together and hand to your heart when you're ready. Now let's keep one foot turned out, whichever leg you choose first, for triangle pose. And we'll keep a tiny, tiny bend in the knee. Take the opposite hand to your hip and the same hand as the leg down towards the knee. Just ease your body over and we'll start to just move with our breath. With an inhale, lift back up a little bit. Exhale to ease down. Keep that going. 3 or 5 breaths. Noticing what your body needs and not going too deep, not pushing too much because this is quite a big stretch even though we're doing it softly. And then as you come to either 3 or 5 breaths, let's settle for 1 breath in stillness. Maybe you keep the hand on your hip or you reach your hand up. And once you settle, just take a big breath through the sides of the ribs, the spine, from your feet all the way through. Great, exhale, take the hand down. Bend the knee now and move the other foot back a little bit. We'll come to warrior 2, hands out to the sides, shoulder height, palms turned up. With an inhale, reach your hand up to the sky. As you exhale, the same forearm as the leg lowers down and the other arm sweeps over. Keep that going, 2 more breaths. Inhale to rise for your exalted warrior. Exhale to lower into your side angle, reaching the top arm over. Inhale to lift up, grounding to your feet. Exhale to feel the diagonal stretch, drawing lower belly in, turning your gaze up. Inhale to lift up to center. Let's straighten the front leg now and lift the top arm up again, looking up. And then taking triangle one more time with this wider stance. So moving your hand down to the inner knee in the calf area, hand to the hip or hand up to the sky. Taking 3 big breaths here. Breathing into the balance, breathing through your body, pressing to the ground, rising up to the sky, looking up if you like. Great, exhale, come up to a center point. Let's heel toe the feet in a little bit and take your hands to your hips and then swivel your hips around. So just easing that through, balancing and swivel your hips around the other way. As you bend your knees, easing and softening. Great, let's turn the opposite foot out now. And that leg is straight with a tiny bend in for a triangle Trikonasana. hand to the hip again. Square your body to the side of the mat and hand lowers down towards the knee. And then we drop down with our breath. As you inhale, rise back up again. Keep that going 3 to 5 times on this side. Softening through your shoulders, grounding to the feet. Then into the stretch, easing, working this stretch in an active way really helps to lengthen your side and the psoas and your spine, your sacrum. One more breath, if you did 3 or 5 on the other side. And now let's start to just hold it for a breath in our awareness. Moving the hand from your hip up if you did so last time again. Looking up, lengthen through, feel the feet, lift to the sky, lifting your heart and gaze. Great, exhale, bend the knee. Coming up to a warrior 2, take the back foot back a bit and widen. Draw your up through your core, turn the palms up, pressing the front foot down. Noticing the big toe just beyond the knee. Inhale, lifting up for exalted warrior, looking up, keep the knee bent. Exhale for side angle as you diagonal stretch over. Keep that going, breathing deep, lifting through your heart as you ground to the earth, softening your shoulders and your jaw. One more big breath. And now as we come to our diagonal, just feel the big extension to the top fingers. As you inhale, reach back up to your exalted warrior and start to straighten that front leg, keeping a micro bend in the knee. Exhale for triangle pose, offering the hand, reaching it as far forward as you can, and then down to the inner knee, opposite hand to the hip, turn your body and lift your heart. And either keeping the hand to your hip or lifting it up to the sky if you did before. 3 big breaths, softening as much as you can as well. Feeling the breath with joy, with expansion, with vitality, rising up through you. One more breath. Great, exhale, lowering the hand down as you bend your knee. Heel toe the feet in towards each other again, and let's hip swivel, hip circle. One more time, around one way and then the other. Softening through your shoulders, your face. Great, I'm just going to check the time. Oh, brilliant. Okay, let's now stand with our feet hip distance apart, please, and we'll practice tree pose and dancer. Noticing your feet grounding to the earth. Lift your toes away from the earth and spread them wide. Feel your inner arches, and then let's just notice the feet lowering the toes with softness, grounding back down. Taking your left foot up, your right inner thigh or inner ankle, inner calf, wherever feels best for you. And you can hold on to something if you need to, if you usually do. As you position, notice your hands to your heart when you're ready, drawing up through your core, feel your hips wide, feeling from the standing heel all the way up to the crown of your head. Softening your shoulders, lifting your heart. With an inhale, let's grow up to the sun, reaching up and lengthening through. Feel the center line of your body. And as you root to the ground, branching out all around with blossoming branches. Maybe you take Gaya Mudra, index finger and thumb touching. Feel your heart spreading and expanding to this gesture of your branches wide. And maybe you sway your hands a few times, challenging your balance, gazing to one point with a soft gaze, soft drishti. Great, and then when you're ready, allowing your hands to lower, the foot lowering back to the ground. Great, checking into your feet again, lifting your toes and spreading them away from the ground once more. So the toes down, softly rooting down. Feel your inner arches to inner thighs and your core switched on, and then moving the other foot up through into your tree. Noticing the position above or below the knee. And as you take your hands to your heart, widen across your hips, your pelvis, lift through your body and your core. Feel the standing heel to the crown of your head, line. With an inhale, reach up to the sky when you're ready. Drawing up, lengthening through, growing to the sun, through the center line. Lifting hands wide when you're ready to branch. Taking index finger and thumb together in Gaya Mudra. Wisdom Mudra, the earth's wisdom, wisdom of your body. Feel into your core and expanding across your heart again. The beauty of the trees, your connection with your breath. Breathing through across your lungs. Maybe you sway your hands again if you like. Lifting one hand up, dropping the other down, and going to the other side with a dancing tree. Great. When you're ready, lowering your hands, lowering your foot down. Have a little shake out and shaking your hands. Maybe you shake them up to the sky and down to the earth. Let's now practice Dansa Natrasana. Dansa represents the cosmic dance of creation. It's Shiva's pose, Shiva, the god of creation. You can stand straight. I'll just turn to the side to show you. We take our feet hip distance apart and level again. And you can either hold on to something to the side or to the front of you if you're more comfortable with that. Turning your right palm out. Let's take the right inner arch to the palm. Moving both knees towards each other just to start aligned and centered. Lift your left hand up to the sky. You can touch index finger and thumb again. Draw your heart forward and your shoulders back slightly. And feel into the tilt as you move the right knee back and your left hand forward. Looking forward to a fixed gaze. Keep moving with your breath. And feeling into the thigh stretch, the front of the hip stretch, your spine. One more breath here, drawing your shoulders back, lifting your heart, well done. This balance of effort and ease. Great, let's settle down, have a shake out again if you like. Releasing that side, and then we'll go to the other side. Moving our left palm out with feet grounding to the earth level and parallel again. And taking the left palm to the inner arch of your left foot. Drawing your left shoulder back, knees towards each other to start balanced. And then lifting your right hand up to the sky. Touching index finger and thumb again. And when you're ready, breathing into the tilt of the balance, like balancing scales, lifting the back knee, lifting your heart, drawing up through your core, in the stretch to this side. Enjoying your breath, and this dance of creation, this symbolizes. What would you like to dance with at the springtime? What would you like to create? Great, one more breath. And then let's come back down to the ground, shake it out, have a shake through, maybe shaking your hands up again, and shake them down. Let's now settle down, we'll sit down, taking both feet out straight, flexing the toes, move any glute flesh or thigh flesh to the sides for our sunset pose, Hanumanasana. Leveling the feet, your body, getting comfy. First of all, let's just sit for a few moments in staff pose. Hands can be to the sides of your hips as you press the hands to the ground Lift up through the back of your body, and then feel the shoulders moving back and down. Level the feet, flexing the toes, spreading them away from each other. And notice the width of the feet, trying to widen the bones out to the sides a bit more. One more breath, pressing down, so you're almost lifting your hips away from the ground a little bit with the action of pressing down through your arms, your hands. And letting that go with an inhale, reach the hands up to the top. As you exhale, gesture your hands forwards, hovering, drawing up through your lower belly. Inhale, let's lift the hands up again, looking up perhaps. Exhale, folding forwards halfway and hovering, drawing up through lower belly. One more time, inhale to rise up, keep the toes active, looking up. Exhale, hovering, drawing up through lower belly. Inhale to reach the hands a bit further forward towards the feet now. And exhale, lowering the hands to the sides of the legs or to your feet. First 2 fingers and thumbs to the big toes, or holding on to the sides. If you have a strap and you like the strap, you can do. You can also use your blanket around your feet and hold on to the sides of the blanket in a way. Keep the feet really level and the toes turned up and active wherever you are. Trying to soften your shoulders as you bend your elbows, moving the shoulders back and the heart forward. Let's take 5 more big breaths, really noticing the breath through the back of the body with an inhale, lengthening the heart forward. As you exhale, folding in, drawing up through your core. Inhale to lengthen forwards. Exhale to fold in. Inhale, expanding through your lungs to the back. Exhale, drawing up through your core, softening your jaw. Inhale, feeling into the length of your legs to your toes active. Exhale to soften through. One more big breath, relaxing as much as you can as well. Great, let's slowly come up with the body, reach the hands up to the top. Exhale, take the hands behind you now. We'll practice reverse tabletop. Feet towards your hips, hip distance apart. Hands behind the hips, about the same distance as the feet are in front. So move the hands back a bit more. And fingers can be either facing you or away or to the sides of the mat. Lifting your hips when you're ready, looking down your body. You can keep the gaze there, trying to press all the toes down, lift up through the inner arches, level through your body. Or you can lift your gaze up to the sky to make it a bit more active across your shoulders, the front of the shoulders, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other softly. Pressing the feet, pressing the toes, drawing up through your glutes. Lift your glutes, one more breath with an inhale. And exhale, softening all the way down. Great, let's shake out or circle our wrists a little bit. And then you can shake out your legs, pat them down. Move towards the front, the top of the mat. Level our feet and ground them as we lower with our core, hands forward. On your next exhale, drawing lower belly in and lowering down as slowly as you can. Begin to relaxing your shoulders, your face, your jaw as you lower all the way down. Reach your hands over your head and your feet straight. As you straighten into an active, long line, reaching to your fingers, your toes. Have a breath here, softening as you exhale. And then we can over practice legs in the air for waterfall. And you can have the blanket underneath your hips if you want to just make it a little bit more comfy. Maybe folding the blanket so it's a bit more thicker and you've got a bit more lift up. Or if you like, you can practice shoulder stand. And there's a way to practice shoulder stand with a blanket as well, which is often practiced in Iyengar yoga with a blanket. And it's tiny, it's a bit tricky to show over Zoom. But the idea is to make a rectangle, flat position of your blanket down, and then move your shoulders to the top of the shoulders, and the part where your neck and your shoulders meet is directly at the top of the blanket. So then it creates a bit of room for your neck, and you can lift your hips up into shoulder stand. And this is practice with Iyengar yoga to create that room for your neck a bit more, especially if you find it crunching your neck in a normal shoulder stand when you don't have your blanket underneath you. So you can try that today if you like, or just keep your legs lifted into the air for waterfall with a blanket underneath your hips. And as we take our big breaths here, noticing the breath to the belly, expanding the lungs. If you're in shoulder stand, maybe wriggling the elbows in a little bit more, drawing your shoulder blades towards each other. Check that your head is balanced, and as you lift to your feet, you can point and flex the feet a few times, circling the ankles around one way, then the other. Maybe bicycling your legs, bending the knees, and have a little bicycle ride in the air one way, and then reverse that bicycle ride around the other way, pedaling your legs, into joy, delight, creation, and the dance of life, of spring. And then if you're used to shoulder stand and you want to practice plow, taking one foot overhead, one foot to the sky maybe, and half plow, and then scissoring the legs to the other side. You can lower down at any time that you like, and both waterfall with legs in the air, shoulder stand and plow, all really good for our whole body inversion of our system, of our organs, of the blood, and for our thyroid, our metabolism, our immune system, our lymphatic system. And then when you're ready, taking plow if you like, or dropping down to the ground, rolling really slowly to your back. As you draw your knees in, have a rock from side to side. Maybe swaying your head again from side to side to soften your jaw, your face, your neck. And then let's all practice fish, the counter pose. Straightening your legs to the top of the mat. Take your hands underneath your glutes. Palms are face down and thumbs are crossed over each other. Straighten to the toes, either point or flex the toes. Look to your feet and then come up onto your elbows, wiggling the elbows in a little bit. Check everything's level, and then we try to drop the head back easily, comfortably. And if you have the blanket there behind you, it may be quite comfy for you with the blanket underneath your head. As you lift your heart, expand across your lungs, big deep breaths like fish gills expanding with air. Stretching the front of your body, your core, stretching your spine, lifting your heart, increasing your lung capacity. And this is also really good for your thyroid, balancing your neck, your throat, chakra. One more big breath as you inhale, filling up. And exhale, softening down, releasing your head and slowly tucking your chin to your chest slightly. And then finding a still point, a Shavasana position for your relaxation. If there's any other movement that you'd like to do, you're welcome to. Maybe swaying your head, maybe opening your jaw wide and moving your jaw from side to side. Choosing your position for Shavasana. And you can keep your hands out to the sides or take a hand to your belly and your heart. Maybe use the blanket on top of you now to cover you and to weight the body down, as a little bit of weight on the front of the body can help you settle even more and release to the ground. As you breathe with softness, allowing your breath to be an inner sweeping breeze through you. Imagining your body as the land, as a field of daffodils, or a beautiful, colourful patch of crocuses, and spring flowers of tulips and primroses. And as you breathe in this beauty inside you, beauty all around you, as you breathe with this beauty, with love, with peace, I read the Beauty Way, a Navarajo prayer from the tradition. And this is called Walk in Beauty. In beauty I walk, with beauty before me I walk, with beauty behind me I walk. With beauty above me I walk, with beauty around me I walk. It has become beauty again. Today I will go out. Today everything negative will leave me. I will be as I was before. I will have a cool breeze over my body. I will have a light body. I will be happy. I will walk with beauty before me. I walk with beauty behind me. I walk with beauty below me. I walk with beauty above me. I walk with beauty around me. My words will be beautiful. And beauty all day long may I walk. Through the returning seasons may I walk. On the trail marked with pollen may I walk. With dew about my feet may I walk. In old age wandering on a trail of beauty, lively may I walk. In beauty may I walk. In beauty may I walk. And they live by this beauty, the beauty way, as we thank all the beauty of nature and the teachings of nature. What would you like to grow with this spring? What's re-emerging inside you? How can you balance with gratitude, with thanks for all, sending love and peace, and sending love all the way through you, out to the world. As you seal this in with thanks and gratitude, starting to breathe deeper now, encouraging the breath with freshness, with awakening. As you wake for your day, for your week, for springtime. You can take a stretch and move, circling, wiggling your wrists, your feet, your toes, your fingers and thumbs. And when you're ready, coming to your side, coming to seated in your own way. And let's take our hands to our heart and we're comfortable, noticing the balance as you soften again and ground to the earth. Thanking this balance.